At a certain level, the game changes again, not on the surface where views, likes, and subscribers dominate the conversation, but deep beneath it, where mindset becomes the true differentiator. Because this is where creators stop thinking like content makers and start thinking like owners, like builders of long-term digital empires. And this shift is subtle, almost invisible, but it changes everything about how decisions are made. You begin to realize that every video is not just content, it's an asset, something that can work for you long after it's uploaded, something that can attract viewers, generate income, and build authority even while you're asleep. And this realization forces you to think differently about quality, about relevance, about longevity, because now you're not just creating for today, you're creating for months, even years ahead. This is where short-term thinking starts to fade, because chasing trends alone no longer feels satisfying. Instead, you start focusing on evergreen content, videos that remain useful, searchable, and valuable over time, creating a steady flow of traffic that doesn't depend on constant virality, and this stability becomes one of your strongest advantages. But at the same time, you don't ignore trends completely. You learn how to balance them, using trending topics to capture attention while building evergreen content to sustain growth. And this combination creates a powerful strategy where your channel benefits from both immediate spikes and long-term consistency. As your thinking evolves, you also become more selective, understanding that not every idea deserves execution. Not every opportunity is worth pursuing, because focus becomes your greatest strength, and the ability to say no becomes just as important as the ability to create, because distraction is one of the biggest threats to long-term success. And then comes the concept of positioning, because at this level, it's not just about what you create, it's about how you are perceived, how your audience sees you, whether as just another creator or as an authority in your space. And this perception influences everything from how your content is received to how brands approach you. You start noticing that top creators don't just upload videos, they control narratives, they shape opinions, they guide conversations. And this level of influence is built over time through consistency, clarity, and confidence in your message, because people are drawn to creators who know what they stand for. In Pakistan, where the digital landscape is still developing, this level of positioning creates massive opportunity, because becoming an authority early allows you to dominate your niche before it becomes saturated, giving you a long-term advantage that is difficult for others to compete with later. But with influence comes pressure, because now your words carry weight, your content impacts others, and maintaining that level of trust requires discipline, integrity, and a commitment to delivering value consistently, because once trust is broken, it's difficult to rebuild. And this is where long-term thinking becomes essential, because instead of chasing quick gains, you focus on sustainable growth, building a reputation that lasts, creating content that matters, and making decisions that support your future, not just your present. What's interesting is that as you adopt this mindset, your approach becomes calmer, more controlled, less reactive, because you're no longer chasing validation. You're building something meaningful, something that reflects your understanding, your experience, your perspective, and this clarity allows you to operate with confidence even in uncertain situations. And over time, this mindset compounds, just like your content, creating results that may seem slow at first, but become powerful as they build, because consistency combined with strategic thinking always leads to growth, even if it's not immediately visible. And in the end, you realize that the biggest difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, not luck, not even resources. It's the ability to think long-term, to stay focused, to keep building even when results are not immediate. Because those who master this mindset don't just grow on YouTube, they build something that lasts far beyond it.